What if a single oversized leaf from your own backyard could be turned into a piece of garden art that lasts for decades, holds real living plants, and costs you almost nothing but a bag of concrete? That is the quiet magic of a concrete leaf bowl, one of the most satisfying beginner garden projects out there. And once you make your first one, you will understand exactly why so many gardeners end up making a whole collection. A concrete leaf bowl is created by draping a wet concrete mixture over the back of a large, sturdy leaf, like a rhubarb, hosta, or elephant ear leaf, then letting it cure until it hardens into a permanent, leaf-textured bowl or dish shape. Once the original leaf dries out and is brushed away, what remains is a beautifully detailed, veined concrete replica, capturing every rib and curve of the original leaf in solid, weatherproof stone. These bowls make wonderful standalone garden sculptures, birdbaths, or shallow dishes for succulents and small drought-tolerant plants. And because concrete is such a durable, weather-resistant material, a well-made leaf bowl can genuinely last for many years outdoors, through sun, rain, and freezing winter temperatures with only minimal care. Making your own leaf bowl starts with choosing the right leaf, and bigger, more deeply veined leaves generally produce the most dramatic, textured results. Rhubarb leaves are a classic choice, thanks to their bold, prominent veining and generous size, while hosta and elephant ear leaves offer a slightly smoother, more elegant finish. Drape your chosen leaf, vein side up, over a mound of sand or an upside-down bowl to create your desired curve. Then mix a relatively dry, workable batch of concrete, and press it firmly across the surface of the leaf in an even layer. Generally, somewhere between half an inch, a full inch thick, depending on how sturdy you want the finished piece to be. Allow the concrete to cure slowly, keeping it covered and lightly misted with water for several days to prevent cracking, before carefully flipping the piece over and peeling away the original leaf, revealing the detailed impression left behind in the hardened concrete. Once your leaf bowl has fully cured, usually about a week to 10 days after casting, you can decide exactly how to use it in your garden, and this decision genuinely affects the kind of ongoing care it will need. Many gardeners fill their leaf bowls with a shallow layer of gravel and a few small, drought-tolerant succulents, or sedums, creating a striking miniature garden that showcases both the concrete texture and living plants at once. Others use the bowl purely as a birdbath or simple water feature, letting rain and refilled water collect naturally in the bowl's shallow curve, without adding any soil or plants at all. If you do plan to grow anything directly in your leaf bowl, drilling 1 or 2 small drainage holes into the lowest point of the concrete before it fully cures, or, carefully, with a masonry bit, afterward, is essential, since a bowl with no drainage will simply collect standing water and quickly drown the roots of anything planted inside it. Caring for the plants inside a concrete leaf bowl follows the same fundamental logic as caring for any small, shallow container garden, with one specific consideration tied directly to the material itself. Concrete is a dense, heat-retentive material, much like stone or brick, meaning a leaf bowl positioned in full, direct summer sun can heat up considerably during the hottest part of the day, creating a noticeably warmer root zone than the same plants would experience in a lighter, more insulating container, like plastic or glazed ceramic. This makes a concrete leaf bowl a genuinely excellent home for heat-loving, drought-tolerant plants like sedum, hens and chicks, and other small succulents, which actually appreciate that extra warmth and the fast-draining, mineral-rich growing conditions a shallow gravel and soil mix inside the bowl naturally provides. Light requirements depend entirely on what you choose to grow in your leaf bowl, but most classic choices lean toward full sun. Sedums, hens and chicks, and other small succulent varieties commonly used in leaf bowl plantings generally want at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily to maintain their compact, colorful growth habit, since insufficient light causes these plants to stretch, pale, and lose the tight rosette shape that makes them so visually appealing in a small display. If you prefer a shadier spot in your yard, mosses and small ferns can also thrive in a concrete leaf bowl positioned in partial or dappled shade, offering a completely different, softer aesthetic than the sun-loving succulent approach. Temperature considerations matter primarily in colder climates, since concrete, while extremely durable, can be vulnerable to frost damage if water becomes trapped inside small cracks or drainage holes and repeatedly freezes and expands over the course of a harsh winter. Most well-cured, properly sealed concrete leaf bowls tolerate outdoor temperatures across the full range of a typical American climate zone without issue. But bringing the piece into a garage or covered area during the coldest months, or simply ensuring it drains completely before a hard freeze, meaningfully extends its lifespan in regions with severe winter weather. There is genuine scientific reasoning behind why this project and concrete garden ornaments in general hold up so well outdoors. Materials science research into concrete curing has documented the specific chemical process called hydration, in which cement particles react with water over a period of days and weeks to form a dense, interlocking crystalline structure, which is precisely why slow, moist curing, rather than letting a piece dry quickly in direct sun, produces a significantly stronger, more crack-resistant final product. Studies on freeze-thaw durability in cured concrete have shown that properly cured, adequately dense concrete develops far fewer microscopic pores, capable of trapping water than poorly mixed or rushed batches, directly explaining why a well-made leaf bowl survives winter after winter, while a rushed, undercured piece may crack or flake within its very first cold season. Horticultural research into container material and root zone temperature, the same body of research relevant to metal wheelbarrow planters and brick garden edging, applies directly here as well, confirming that dense materials like concrete moderate temperature swings more effectively than thin plastic, creating the kind of stable, warm root environment that heat-loving succulents, specifically, benefit from throughout the growing season. The human experience of making and living with a concrete leaf bowl carries its own, well-documented benefits beyond the finished object itself. Craft and occupational therapy research into hands-on making activities has consistently found that projects involving direct physical manipulation of natural materials, like pressing wet concrete over a real leaf and watching a permanent impression emerge, engage a distinct sense of creative satisfaction tied to tangible, visible results, a quality researchers associate with improved mood and a heightened sense of accomplishment, compared to more passive leisure activities. There is also a specific psychological appeal tied to the impermanence to permanence transformation at the heart of this project. A single leaf, which would naturally decompose within weeks in an ordinary garden, becomes instead a lasting record of its own shape and texture, and many gardeners describe a genuine sense of connection to their own yard or a specific plant they love when they see its exact veining preserved indefinitely in stone. Broader wellness research on time spent gardening and creating outdoors continues to support what this specific project embodies especially well. Hands-on engagement with natural materials, direct sunlight exposure during the working process, and the satisfaction of a completed, functional piece of garden art all contribute to measurable reductions in stress and improvements reported well-being. Watering plants inside a concrete leaf bowl requires attention into the shallow, fast-draining nature of this particular container. Because most leaf bowls hold a relatively thin layer of soil or gravel compared to a deep traditional pot, moisture evaporates considerably faster, especially in full sun on a warm concrete surface. Check soil moisture with a finger inserted about an inch deep, and water thoroughly whenever that depth feels dry. Which for sun-loving succulents in peak summer heat, might mean watering every 4 to 5 days, since these particular plants strongly prefer to dry out somewhat between waterings rather than sitting in consistently damp soil. If you are using your leaf bowl purely as a bird bath or water feature rather than a planter, simply refresh the water every 2 to 3 days to prevent stagnation and discourage mosquito breeding. Especially as months standing water can become a genuine nuisance surprisingly quickly. Fertilizing plants in a concrete leaf bowl should be done sparingly. Since most classic leaf bowl plants like succulents and sedums are specifically adapted to lean, mineral-rich growing conditions, and can actually become weak, stretched, or rot-prone if overfed. A very dilute, balanced liquid fertilizer applied once or twice during the peak growing seasons is typically plenty for a small succulent planting, and many gardeners skip supplemental feeding entirely if their gravel and soil mix already contains a modest amount of compost. Pruning in this context mostly means light grooming rather than heavy cutting back. Trim away any dead or mushy leaves promptly, since succulents, in a shallow, warm container can occasionally develop rot spots that spread quickly if left unaddressed, and gently separate and replant any offshoot rosettes that hens and chicks or similar spreading succulents naturally produce once the bowl starts to feel crowded. Even a well-made concrete leaf bowl runs into a few predictable issues over time, though nearly all of them have simple, beginner-friendly fixes. Small hairline cracks sometimes appear as a piece ages, particularly through several freeze-thaw winters, and while a minor surface crack rarely threatens the bowl's structural integrity, sealing it with a simple concrete crack filler or masonry sealant prevents water infiltration from worsening the damage over time. Efflorescence, that same harmless white, powdery mineral residue, discussed with brick garden edging, can also appear on the surface of a concrete leaf bowl as it weathers, and a simple scrub with water and a stiff brush during a dry spell removes it without any lasting harm. Plants inside the bowl, rotting or turning mushy almost always trace back to inadequate drainage or overwatering, so double-check that your drainage holes remain clear and unclogged, and ease back on watering frequency, particularly during cooler or rainier stretches of the growing season. And if moss or algae begins colonizing a leaf bowl kept in a shadier, damper spot, a gentle scrub is usually all that's needed, though many gardeners actually welcome this gradual weathering, since a bit of natural moss and patina often makes a concrete leaf bowl look even more like it belongs permanently in the landscape rather than freshly made. Choosing your concrete mix and reinforcing your bowl properly makes a meaningful difference in how long the finished piece lasts outdoors. A pre-mixed sand and cement blend, often labeled as a general-purpose or countertop concrete mix, tends to produce a smoother, more detailed leaf impression than a coarse mix containing large gravel aggregate, since fine sand particles settle more completely into the delicate veining of the leaf during casting. Many experienced leaf bowl makers also embed a layer of fiberglass mesh or a few lengths of thin wire partway through the concrete layer, adding significant tensile strength that helps the finished bowl resist cracking under its own weight or from an accidental bump once it's in regular garden use. Mixing concrete slightly wetter than a typical structural pour makes it easier to spread evenly across the delicate curves of a large leaf, though a mix that is too wet can lose fine detail and become prone to slumping before it sets. So aim for a consistency similar to thick natural peanut butter, spreadable but not runny, for the best balance between detail retention and workability. Placement of your finished leaf bowl within your garden deserves the same consideration you would give any piece of outdoor art, since a well-chosen spot enhances both its visual impact and its practical longevity. A slightly elevated position, whether on a simple pedestal, a low garden wall, or even a sturdy tree stump, lifts the bowl's texture and detail closer to eye level, making the leaf veining far more visible than if the piece sat directly on the ground. Positioning your bowl where morning or afternoon sun rakes across its surface at a low angle dramatically highlights the natural shadow and texture created by the leaf's veinings, an effect that flat, overhead midday light tends to flatten and diminish. If you are using the bowl as a functional bird bath, placing it a few feet from dense shrubbery gives visiting birds a clear sightline to watch for approaching predators while they drink or bathe, a small detail that meaningfully increases how often local wildlife actually uses the feature you've created. There is additional research worth understanding around both the material science and the horticultural side of this project. Studies specifically examining pigment-integrated concrete, where dry powdered pigment is mixed directly into the batch before casting, have shown that this method produces significantly more even, fade-resistant coloring throughout the entire thickness of a piece, compared to surface-applied paints or stains, which tend to wear away from foot traffic, weather exposure, or the freeze-thaw cycling common across most of the United States within just a few seasons. On the horticultural side, extension research into succulent and sedum performance in shallow containers has reinforced that these particular plants evolved to survive in thin, rocky mountain and desert soils in their native ranges, genuinely perform better in a shallow, fast-draining leaf bowl than they would in a deep, moisture-retentive pot, making the concrete leaf bowl format not merely a decorative compromise but an arguably ideal growing environment for this specific category of plant. Many gardeners eventually build an entire collection of leaf bowls in varying sizes, using different leaves collected across a full growing season to capture a genuinely diverse range of textures and shapes in one cohesive garden display. Smaller leaves, like a hosta or a large maple leaf, produce charming little dishes perfect for a single small succulent or a scattering of seasonal acorns and pine cones, while the largest rhubarb or elephant ear leaves create genuinely substantial centerpiece bowls, capable of holding a small collection of plants or serving as a proper bird bath for larger visiting birds. Arranging a small grouping of different-sized leaf bowls together, rather than displaying just one in isolation, tends to create a considerably more striking garden vignette. Echoing the same layered, varied design principle that makes wall shelf gardens and moon garden plantings so visually effective in their own right. Vegetables, gardening tips, and nature care. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub, your home for year-round garden inspiration. Let's keep growing together.